Godzilla versus King Kong.
The yin yang.
Gorilla versus Kong.
The battle of the century. Danny, say something.
Battle to drink some Django.
Wow, so crazy.
Okay, now we have to cut that into like a trailer.
Okay. I'm not gonna do that. But okay. It was fine. For my birthday movie.
It was a birthday movie.
It was a birthday movie.
In a theater.
I could have fallen asleep if Pip wouldn't stop asking questions.
We saw it in a theater with other people in the theater.
We did, which was nerve-wracking. They were right behind me and right next to me. And right in front of me. And I was like, this is not regulation.
Did people next to you guys?
I was having a good time.
Yeah, you guys are far away.
Yeah.
Also, wait.
What did you say?
I said you also fell asleep.
Oh,
That's why I was
Chris.
having a good time.
That's I in Middle Earth. No idea. Is that what I came here for?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I never had, never will. What I came here for was that sick sucker punch that Kong gave to Godzilla on the ship. That's what I came here for. And that's what I got.
Thank you.
Therefore, this movie, 10 out of 10, most highly recommended movie on my watch list.
It was kinkier than I thought.
It was
Oh, gay men!
Kong and Godzilla. If that movie ended with Kong and Godzilla having a romantic relationship, I would not have been surprised.
I would have been ecstatic.
If that was cut out of the script, once again, would not have been surprised.
There's that like shot in Shanghai. Is that where they were? Where in the glowy city.
Yeah.
Where like Kong is like standing over, not Kong, Godzilla's standing over Kong, and he like growls at him, and then Kong's like, oh, you know, it was
like a little.
I hate this conversation so much.
But honestly, obviously you guys hadn't seen the other movies in this franchise.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much context behind the characters.
How many other movies are in this franchise?
Let me Google that for you, bud.
There's three. There's an original Godzilla movie. There's Kong Skull Island. There's a second Godzilla movie, and then there's this one.
I've definitely only seen the original. Wait.
It's called the Monsterverse.
How many movies in the Monsterverse?
Tell us.
There's 4 movies. Godzilla, okay, Kong, Skull Island, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and the latest Godzilla versus King Kong.
The funny thing is, Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson were in the first Godzilla movie.
Elizabeth Olsen?
Yeah.
What the fuck was she doing over there?
That one's genuinely a good movie, though.
Of course it is.
I think I've seen that one. I think that one is, like, pretty good.
I watched a Kong movie. This King Kong movie. Who is this?
Probably Elizabeth Olsen.
No, the King Kong. Maybe. I don't remember.
Kong Skull Island it's with Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston.
What? Literally directed by Marvel. It's actually Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island is actually Captain Marvel. I watched a King Kong. Just like King Kong done with the one that was done by Universal Studios. And that was genuinely one of my favorite young movies as a kid. There was like a blonde woman. I think she falls in love with him.
That's the King Kong movie, yep.
Is that the one that's in the Monsterverse though?
No. The one that's in the Monsterverse is called Kong Skull Island.
Okay, with Jack
and
Black.
It has Tom Hiddleston. No, Jack Black is in the original Kong movie.
What the fuck?
That one has no connection to these new ones.
Who are these people? What's
Okay, so we
happening?
actually don't. So we're like talking about Endgame with like
No,
this.
literally, you're talking about Endgame when. The thing is, what you're talking about is Batman, The Dark Knight. What you're talking about is the original, is Batman Forever, but we're talking about Batman, The Dark Knight because it like got rebooted in a way.
Yeah, I see. I understand. I guess. Okay, well that's my context with the action, like with knowing the character of King Kong. He's not even the same Kong. He's a different man.
No.
A new man.
I think Kong's character arc was the most interesting.
Why?
I care more about Kong than I do the human characters. Because he's a giant gorilla.
Every time he got hurt, it hurt. It I wanted to
Exactly.
cry. It was like painful seeing him have like a little ouchy shoulder.
And then he just slapped that shit back together.
Yeah.
As
I don't remember that.
I don't expect any less from him.
I don't do the gorillas just do that.
Yeah.
Stop, because I'm gonna believe you.
No. I don't know. I'm not a gorilla. Oh, I mean, I don't know.
But
How does anyone else
no,
feel
but
about it?
seriously.
Oh, okay.
I was saying, but seriously, I think there was too many characters. First of all, it's just too many characters. I did not.
I
care
could not
about.
tell you a single name of anybody.
I did not care about a single character. The movie's getting generally good reviews, and I don't understand. If we're watching the same film,
Of course it is.
because I don't understand. It just throws at you a bunch of far-fetched concepts that they hope you latch onto. What was it called? Hollow Earth?
Yeah.
What? What?
I
There's
thought
just
that
a world within our world.
I thought that they had established that in a prior
No,
movie.
they hadn't.
A prior concept was we need to explore Hollow Earth. But not only did they give us Hollow Earth, which apparently we've never discussed before, not only did they give us Hollow Earth, but they gave us
Millie Bobby Brown.
no, Kong's origin story exists within said Hollow Earth. So you got now there's other versions of Kong. Kong is no longer a Titan, right? Because what is a Titan? I don't know enough about this to have.
All the Titans came from Hollow Earth.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what they say. That's how they explain the existence of Titans.
Well, yeah. Isn't the story something along the lines of the way that people used to explain natural disasters, tornadoes and things, why those things happened was because the Titans were angry and they Godzilla created tsunamis, Kong created earthquakes when he was angry because he hit the ground or whatever. I don't know for sure, but isn't that's the general concept? So it's how they explained volcanoes coming out of the earth and things like that was through Titans creating said volcanoes out of anger or frustration or sadness or whatever.
Did you write the movie?
I wrote the movie. I actually wrote the original stories of the Titans back in 16 BC.
I think that's
16
generally
BC.
is that outside and that's you're using outside?
I'm using Hercules as my source.
That's what I'm thinking because I was they don't. That's not talked about in the monster.
Well, no, but I'm saying the general concept of Titans, just
In the first place.
consistently like that's
Right.
generally what they are. But I didn't like once again I didn't watch the first two movies, so I didn't know if that was the
How
context that they
like
used.
justify their existence.
Yeah, do they just say like, oh,
They
just
don't. They're just like there.
they just like
there.
they just like one day they were hanging out, and then the next day there was
No,
a
genuinely.
big ass lizard crocodile in the ocean, and they were just like, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Hey, you know what? Fair enough.
Fair enough.
In the one before this, he fights a 3-headed dragon,
Oh.
a
Oh,
moth,
swag.
and
Mothman.
like,
Danny.
and this other like dinosaur, and it's not like explained. He's just like fighting them.
Good. No, yeah, that's good.
No, I mean, like, I think they kind of... I don't know what their goal was, because their tone seemed like they really, 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 really wanted to be serious. But then it...
I don't think so. The other two, obviously you haven't seen the other two, but the other two, the very first Godzilla with Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, that the tone of that was dark, and it took itself very seriously. Even down to the color palette, it was like muted, and it was just like, it felt like very serious, like they took it so seriously. The second one got a little bit more, like they took a little bit more, like they drank a little more, and they like, you know, like took those chances. And then this one felt like they just like didn't care anymore. Like they're not trying to take themselves seriously. They're just making this movie for the sake of making it, which I was disappointed in, because when they take themselves seriously, that's when like these movies were at their best.
Mm.
And they were, cause like, it seemed like I had come to watch big men fight, and I got big men fighting, and the rest of it, like the rest of any concept outside of the actual fight scenes were just absolute dog shit. Like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the characters. Don't know anything about their motivations. I like.
And that's the thing. Most of the characters you were watching, except the only character who like came back from the other movies, or like the only pre-existing character was Millie Bobby Brown and her dad. So every other character you were watching, it was new to like
Everyone.
new to us as well. The people who've seen the other movies, like they were just new. So it just threw at you a bunch of like random characters to add like more depth to this movie, which is essentially just like monsters fighting each other, and they're trying to give it like a more like grounded in this like emotional story, because they're like giving you these like characters, these humans, this little girl who's deaf who's doing fake sign language.
Which we've never seen her before.
No, we've never seen any
Because
of them
they
before.
treat her like we've seen her before, like that, like she has been in a like I literally thought all of the scientists were like established beforehand, and that the little girl was established beforehand.
The only character who was like pre-existing in the other movies was Millie Bobby Brown and her dad.
That is literally fucking. That is insane. That seems it's
Yeah.
like horrible writing. I don't even know if I
So
could.
you have no connection. And then the thing is, they didn't even try to introduce these characters in a way where you gradually cared for them more. They just threw these characters and expected you to care for them right away, because like, oh, it's a little girl who has this connection with Kong. But like, why does she have this connection with Kong?
Yeah,
you know, like,
I
they're
don't
just
know.
giving you information like, oh, she has this, but like, why? Like, I don't care, because I don't have this attachment to these characters or to this little girl or to the caretaker, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for us to care whether anybody lives or dies, which is why, and I don't know if it was because of COVID or like they just like didn't have it, like I just don't know what happened, but it's just, it seemed like the movie was it fun? Yes, but every time you cut back to like a human being, I was like, I could leave. Like, I could get up and walk out of this movie theater, and it wouldn't matter to me. And saying that, I also do feel kind of cheated out of the fact that I didn't get, like, the movie is called Godzilla versus Kong. And I watched Kong and Godzilla kill robot Godzilla. And I wanted to see them fight. And then and then I started to feel bad. And then they did this thing where the animals were friends. And I was like, oh, they can't kill each other no more. And we lost, I'm not going to speak for all of us. I lost that. And I lost this fight that I had come here for, that I had stayed up to see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I didn't get to see either of them, but I don't know. They ripped the robot's head off and eat its body, I think, right? Eat its brains.
Sure. Yeah.
Am I literally imagining that?
Yeah, maybe.
That happened.
I don't recall that.
No, yeah, they ripped it off, and then there was like stuff coming out of his head.
And then Kong goes like,
oh.
When he ripped off the head, yes. He did that to the thing he fought in Hollow Earth, the snake thing.
Yeah, and then he did
it again to the robot.
I don't remember him eating it, but I remember him pulling the head off.
Maybe we watched.
However, I did fall asleep.
Maybe we watched two different movies.
Maybe I was dreaming.
Already also watched it the night before, so.
No, I understand that, but I don't. Like, it just was so. It obviously didn't, like, stick with me. It wasn't. I don't care about it. The thing is, like you had mentioned, we were promised to, like, these fights that were, like, we were promised to see, like, big monsters fighting, and it was such a, like, it was such a small portion of the film, and it was just, like, so, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay. No, I completely agree.
It's just like there was no weight to it, you know, like, because the purpose of, like, you'll, like, hear about this, so they'll, like, oh, if you're gonna have, like, action sequences, you need to, like, yes, they can be fun, they can be entertaining, but they, like, a good action sequence will still propel the story forward.
Yeah.
That's how you have, like, action sequences with purpose. And obviously, you're not going to a Godzilla versus Kong movie, Gorilla versus Kong movie.
Yeah.
To see action sequences that are propelling the story
like
forward.
You don't come.
However, these action sequences as well were just unnecessary. I was like, I came here to see them fight, but then again, I was sitting there like, I don't need to see them fighting because there's no reason they should be fighting. You know, like, there's just, it wasn't just like, it wasn't justified. There was no reason.
Because I think I do appreciate, like, the scene where there is, Kong and Godzilla are in the ocean.
It was before or after they kissed for the first time.
Oh, this before.
Okay.
But they're fighting in the ocean. I do think that there was some tension, like, created, like seeing Kong fight Godzilla underwater, and I thought he was going to, like, die. I don't know why. He's the main character of the movie. He wasn't going to die, but there was some tension that was created within that sequence, and I was like, okay, like, that's okay, and I was like, maybe I just hate the scientist guy who's like, you guys know the scientist guy that I'm talking about. Yeah. I hate him, and he's annoying, and I don't like his character.
Which one? The black guy?
No, the guy with blonde hair, the white guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I also the one who was with the girl.
Yes.
I also hated that other girl, the one who's the daughter
the
of the
sassy
other scientist guy.
Shut up! That was such bad. She was like, I don't even know what she said. My daddy will get what he wants, and I was like, oh.
No, there was a line. It got me every single time. Both times that I watched it, where she's explaining the HVACs, the whatever they're called, the quacks.
Yeah, the heaves.
Also
they're called
vehicles
heaves.
Those vehicles that were like traveling at light speed, and yet like they're not like. We're never explaining. We're just like it's just accepting that like something like that exists.
Also, wait, hold on. Before you go, the part where the other like the Millie Bobby Brown gang ends up in the fucking kill chamber for Mega Godzilla or whatever, and they're in like a high security
and
like
nobody
facility that's not controlled by the government, and nobody sees it. There's
like a big ass window where people are actively watching this fight, and nobody sees them. There's walking on the floor.
There's no security cameras, sensors, security guards, nothing. You can just walk straight in there. Anybody could have gotten in that situation, and we just never address it. Anyways, continue.
No, exactly. But I was gonna say, so she's explaining the vehicles, and then she stops. She turns around to the other white guy, the scientist man, and she goes, "Feel free to be impressed." And then she walks away.
I love this movie. I love it.
That was one of the most influential lines ever spoken by a character on film.
I really don't have anything else to say about this movie.
It's
fine.
It's like fun to watch. I had a good time in the movie theater for about probably like 70% of it. It was like, I don't know. I watched Godzilla blow a hole through the mantle of the Earth, and it did not affect the Earth in any way, shape, or form. And I watched I watched King Kong jump through said hole to fight Godzilla, and I think
if we learned anything, it's that bitches got hops.
If we learned anything, I want a tattoo of that sequence on my body somewhere, and I think that I think that's what we can't, like, that's, personally, I'm satisfied with my experience, because that's what I came here for. I came here to watch some big men fight and pretty colors on the screen, and they were mediocrely pretty colors.
Bisexual colors.
And mediocrely...
The sequence in Shanghai in the night was, like, really pretty.
I like the lights. I don't...
Yeah. I'm talking about the city. The city was pretty.
Yeah, the city lights. The green and, like, blue, purple-y pinks with the monster men. I also like the sound design. It was loud as balls, but, I don't know. I just like the way Godzilla sounds when he's charging up and shit.
Sure are you not.
I wish I could recreate it.
No, see, okay, no. But in the first Godzilla movie,
so funny.
The part where, because, like, now it's just, like, a thing he does all the time where he lights up blue, but it was, like, so significant in the first one that he, like, actually finally, like, did that. But the sound design for that is, like, and then he, like, blows. It's so cool, but it just doesn't feel the same anymore.
That feels like a video game.
He's like a robot. I want to know what Godzilla is.
I would never watch all of them now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that seems like the only clear step forward.
Alright, what bad? Okay, you want to rate it now?
Thank you.
Cut.
Okay.
I rate it 8 King Kong punches to the face out of 10.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
One of the best movies you've ever seen.
Yeah, right next to Knives Out.
I had fun. It wasn't like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I turned to Chris and I was like, I don't know what's happening. He was like, you don't need to know. And I was like, okay, cool.
There's really there's no reason for you to for me to have to sit there and explain to you what's going on. Just sit and watch. I think it's a really it's a good movie to have in the background of a party.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Aquaman of the Monsterverse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, I hate Aquaman.
Aquaman's bad, but Aquaman is my favorite. Well, this is the only DC movie I've really sat down and watched more than one time. But it's it's got some good shots. It's got some good boys in there.
Okay.
I just can't. I just also don't what's his name? Balboa, Jason.
Rocky Balboa.
Jason
Somoza, what's his name?
The Aquaman.
I was like,
Jason Momoa. The Aquaman, I just don't like him.
So that's actually going to be in the audio files if you just stop fucking typing. Just let us wrap this up.
I don't have any feelings towards anyone except for sexual feelings towards Jason Balboa.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that at the front of the audio clip, actually. No, I'm not. It's fine, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Does anyone else have any final thoughts?
Oh, I'd say a solid, I want to say a 6.
That's pretty high.
That's pretty high.
I Frozen.
I don't know. It was kind of entertaining. I was like, oh,
okay, riddle me this.
Danny has a crush on Millie Bobby Brown.
If this is a 6,
underage.
If that's a 6, then what's Frozen 2 on your scale?
Okay, let me rethink this. This King Kong is probably okay, I think Frozen is a 6. King Kong.
Frozen 2 is a 6?
I'd say, yes.
You're fucking crazy.
I don't know
Your feelings are wrong. Your opinion is wrong.
Okay, I'm done.
I'm just kidding.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
I'm done talking.
Alright. So King Kong's a 3. If Frozen is a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say King Kong was a solid 2.
I don't think, in my brain, King Kong and Frozen aren't on the same list because King Kong was mildly entertaining. and I wouldn't mind putting that on in the background of a party or watching it again so that my brother and my dad could see it. But if somebody asked me to watch Frozen 2, I'd be like, please, for the love of God, no. No.
Okay, hold on. Answer this question. You're at gunpoint. Someone says, I will shoot you unless you sit here and watch Frozen 2. Will you take the bullet?
Can I fast forward to the parts of Olaf calling someone, does he say Stephanie or something?
Yeah.
Samantha. Samantha. That shit is hilarious. It gets me every time.
Samantha.
Okay, but you can't even lie. Some of the scenes were kind of cool.
Which
I was literally going through the ocean.
I don't remember. I made it look like a potato.
Okay, now that's our next conversation.
Okay.
Frozen 2.
I'm ending this. Say goodbye.
Elsa going.
Goodbye.
Bye.